Good morning, everyone. So, today I want to talk about weeds in the garden. So, I'll try and keep it brief. But basically, it's this idea that as we begin to work on ourselves and sort of clear the inner garden, in order to put new seeds or new growth, we have to take out that which wasn't working. And so, as I've been on my sort of healing journey and really coming to a place of self respect, confidence, and a sense of direction in my life, I've been noticing that my usual sort of positive mantra has been interrupted more and more by a lot of these old negative feelings and ideas that I've had in the past. And I'm starting to see that as I'm working on myself, sort of all the stuff that isn't me, the lies I've believed, the pain I've had, and the confusion I've felt in my life is starting to bubble and percolate to the surface. And as a result of that, now what's cool is that what's bothering me or has been holding me back is becoming more and more clear. And I realized for a long time I felt a lot of shame for the lack of progress I'd made, apparently, given my age. I think I also felt a lot of shame just in turn because like I realized right now, like I thought by the time I was this age, like I would have kids and a family and I'd have like all this stuff and I don't have any of that. And so there's a lot of shame there that's come up with a lot of that, as well as this fact that I feel like a lot of these dynamic relationships or possibilities I could have had in my youth are starting to shut down. And so there's a feeling of like missing out and fear, as well as like a mourning of not being able to really experience all that. And of course, I know most of that is not real and it's just kind of an illusion, but those are a lot of the feelings and the things that have been coming up for me. And they're things that I haven't really looked at or addressed for a long time. And I think is because, I was always just finding ways to kind of cope with the life I was living. But I realized in order to really live the life I want and find the best possibility forward, it's really about clearing everything that out that doesn't work. And as a result of that, you start feeling really negative feelings. A couple days ago, I wrote about how I just felt like I was absolutely at rock bottom. And I was absolutely right because it was this, it was all that stuff coming up for me. And I've been more diligent keeping track of like my dreams and my impressions and finding a way forward through things. And it was very interesting because I very recently had a very huge breakthrough in that um, someone who, how would I explain this? So I'd made a deal with myself about what I wanted to do with financial breakthrough, and I had placed a very particular set of behaviors that I was going to put aside for that. And basically say, okay, these habits, these things I'm going to drop so that I no longer do that. And without getting into specifics, I started kind of finding a way to cheat on those behaviors, like not doing it directly, but kind of doing it indirectly. And I realized that started to create this spiral in my mind. And it wasn't until yesterday that I'd realized my cheating on that spiral had started taking me out of coherence with my path. And then literally the minute I realized it and I decided, oh, hey, okay, I'm going to stop this behavior and stop procrastinating. So like I went and deleted a bunch of apps off my phone because I was like, I'm not going to get distracted by this. I suddenly started to feel like I was moving back into alignment and there was this clarity, and then I started getting a bunch of energy. And as I did that, it was like, oh snap, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. And then as a result, I also committed to a new Mind Valley course and just committed to doing that. And things have been a little tight for me because something came up the other day that was a really unexpected curveball. And I have not wanted to ask for help, but I was just thinking about some of the people I can have. And I had a dream that there's a very particular friend who would be able to help me and would. And so I was like, you know what, maybe I'll ask them. And there's still this part of me that feels like I have to prove and show people that I'm a worthwhile investment. And I think at this point now, a lot of those behaviors are even just for me and not really about the people. just so that I can feel confident and feel good about asking them. But I'm starting to come to terms with the idea that like I can just ask for something and trust and know myself well enough that I'll come through and show up. You know what I mean? And so I'm beginning to feel more okay with the progress that I need to make. And I'm just committed to growing and building from here. And yeah, I'm very happy and excited to see how everything goes. And I am going to do better. And I am doing better. So I'm actually doing the best in some ways than I've ever been. So I think it's just this is a lot of new territory for me. And because of that, a lot of things, the blocks that were keeping me from this new territory are starting to come up, and I'm having to start clearing that. And this is good. It's a good place. So that's sort of the update for today. I'm gonna start keeping these updates kind of scheduled. I'll figure out a project name soon enough, but we'll call it day. We'll call it day one of Operation Rising Phoenix. I like that name, Operation Rising Phoenix. It has a bit of a ring to it. So we'll see there. I'll just call this Operation Rising Phoenix day one, and we'll go from there. Peace.